In this video, we're going to cover exactly how we're going to set up a Whop. The most important part of this entire video. I'm going to show you how to add more Whops and combine them together. And the reason that we're going to do this is there is a massive money-making potential right now that you can leverage your skills and your experience to build out a Whop. But the thing that I've noticed is there's no clear-cut way of doing it. There's a couple blog articles that touch on it a little bit and a few YouTubers that talk about it. But in terms of when I was setting this up personally for myself, I got a little bit confused of how to do that. So we're going to go step by step through this video and set everything up from start to finish. And then from there, we're going to walk through everything that you need to know to set the foundation to be able to optimize this and start making money with Whop. So the first thing here is I have Whop Hero, which is our starter package in terms of just being able to set everything up. And you may be watching this video from within the course. Now, if you don't have a Whop created yet, what you can do is I've got a link attached that you can go down and click that button, and that will take you directly to the landing page to start setting it up. If you've already set up a Whop like I have, I've built 3 right here, then what you're going to need to do is go to your dashboard here and then go down to your Whops. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring up a list here of the Whops that you currently have, and we're going to go to new Whop up here in the top right corner. Now, the nice thing about these Whops is this is how you actually build out digital products or even upsells into different services or different community types. Now, we can create one under this organization, which is Whop Hero, which houses all of the different Whops that I've created, or we can create a new organization, which I'm going to do because I'm going to be setting up my community for real estate agents. So I'm going to click that and continue. And now I'm going to type in my marketing agency name, which is Kodak's. Now I'm going to type in my marketing agency name for this community. So I'm going to do real estate agent growth, and we're going to do continue. And then right here, we will come back to all of this stuff. We are going to have another video that comes out about how to actually structure copy from a website copywriter myself. So I'm going to walk you through how to do all of that. Right now, you can just put whatever you want in here. Do not worry about it. Okay, continue. And then real estate agent growth. Yep, continue. And now we are building this Whop out. So now when you get done, this is the page that you're going to see right here. If you're going step by step through this process, you can go ahead and stop and make sure that you're updating this properly. But just a few things to point out here. You do have a checklist showing exactly what you need to do in order to be able to open this up to the public. So it's over here on the right side. There's a toggle up here in the top that you can preview as a visitor so you can see what other people are seeing. And you can toggle that back off and go back to the creative mode. And then on the left side here, they actually just switched this up, which I love this look and feel. I thought the other one was too confusing. So if this is the first time that you're seeing this and you notice this, this is much better. So this is how you can write something and post it to everyone. This is your internal chat so you can talk to people. This is the way that your community can earn money from you by putting out different things for them. This is where all of your courses will be held in the Learn tab. This is where you can put any kind of updates to your calendar in here so that people know when you're going live and when you're talking about things. This is the Play tab, which is weird for some niches, but could be the good one for you if you're into sports betting and things like that. Then you have Tools, where you can add some tools and pre-built softwares like Telegram or other chat. And then Integrations tab. Actually, I think this one is where you add Telegram and Discord. And the Tools is where you add any kind of software. So, yep, this is where you can add those, and a website embed as well. So we will go through each of these as we build this out, but what we want to look at starting out is how we want to structure this, okay? So when we look at it, the goal is to have a video sales letter here, and this is another video that I have in the course, as well as another video coming out on YouTube that you will be able to watch, but this video sales letter is going to be absolutely instrumental in your conversion rate. Right now, I am sitting on about a 50% conversion rate for my Whop Hero, where I was sitting at about a 2% before the video sales letter. Majority of people are not doing video sales letters, so your community stands out and there's a level of professionalism that you will have by adding this to it. You've got 3 different scroll options, so what I like to do and what you'll see on the Whop Hero here, if I go back to it, is I have a video sales letter. it looks professional, but it's still me talking to the camera and just being real. You're showing the face. Very powerful. Then I have some reviews to leverage. So I put some reviews in here because right now I don't have any reviews and we're trying to build trust, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. And then I also have a just join my community picture right here that just shows professionalism. And that's what we're trying to explain to people, that one, you can trust us, but two, this is a professional experience and something worth paying money to be a part of. Then you'll see that in the middle section here is what you've already filled out, what we just filled out right there, the lead generation strategies that work without the expense. That's where that's going to be held. So as we continue to build this out, we'll kind of jump back and forth into what I've already done and then what we're currently doing. So right now, if you don't have any media, go to Canva. I have templates. We'll send those over to you to be able to create something professional here with the right correct dimensions. So that will be in the download tab in the course itself. So from here, we're going to just start with this section. If you need to edit a card, you click edit details here and then do put a description, and you want to try to max out as much as possible. The landing pages that they have set up for you in the flow checks off all the boxes as a website designer, as a landing page conversion rate optimizer. It checks the boxes, but it still does not allow a ton of customizability, which can hold you back a little bit. So you need to be using as much space as possible to convey the value of your group, of your community, to a complete stranger. So go in here, make sure you fill out the description, and then come down here to category, and you want to select what category this is. So mine is real estate. So I'm going to put real estate here. And then the call to action button, I would put join or get access. Those are the two that I would put. It sounds more like you're being invited into something, not sign up or subscribe. So join or get access. I'm going to put get access for this one. And then the checkout link, don't need to worry about that. Whop visibility, so you want this to be visible in the Discover, so go ahead and toggle that on. And then enable pop-up promotion. This is when someone gets on your landing page and goes to leave, there's going to be a pop-up window that pops up that gives them an offer. Now, if you're just starting out a community and you're trying to build it up, I'm very big on you're going to keep this thing free for a little while until you can build up a bigger following. So leave this off because you can't really offer a free promotion if you aren't charging them for anything, right? And then Discover, we will have to do something here to actually apply this. So we're going to save right now on this one. Okay, next is pricing and access. We're going to go ahead and click into pricing options, and you have free and paid. What I want to do here is I want to start with free, but there is a section right here you need to set up payouts before being able to share pricing links. So what you need to do is click this button if this is the first time, or go back over to dashboard, which is this button right here, and go down to payouts. And from in payouts, you want to set up your payment account so you can actually set this up, okay? So make sure that that is on the to-do list there as well. So if we want to go back to this, it's down here at the bottom, click it. Okay, so now inside of pricing, let's just create a free offer and then we'll come back to the paid once I have that set up. So we can do instant access or a wait list. Again, what we want to do starting out is keep this free and open for people to join. The thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to fill this with a bunch of spam, which I foresee coming in the near future. So you want to hit that 10 to 20 community members before you start to shut it off. So then you could change it to waitlist and manually approve people, or you could start out by doing that itself. The other way around it is having a price tag to your community. That's going to keep people that are spammy, that are trying to look for jobs, that are trying to do other things. That's going to keep them out of your community because there's buy-in to it. So we'll stay with free right now, and then instant access, and then we can add a question, add surveys. So if you want to gather leads from them, you can add a question, what's your name? You can add another question, what's your email, what's your phone number? You can also ask them questions about, do you have a current Whop community? How much money do you make if it's a money-making thing? What's stopping you from doing XYZ? Whatever it is, the thing that you have to think about though is the more barriers that we add, the harder it's going to be for someone to come into the community. So if this is completely cold traffic, if this is a brand new community with no reviews and no current community members, you want to make this as frictionless as possible for people to join the community. So the best way is don't make them answer any questions to start out. That's something you can add later. We're going to continue, revoke access automatically. So this is if you are selling a product, or maybe it's a 1-year access to it. This doesn't really apply for the free account, but if you did for a paid program and you wanted to revoke it, hey, 1 time a year payment, then you could do that. And we're going to do continue. And now we have our first payment. Should be popping up. Here we go. Pricing right there. So the way that we want to look at this, we'll come and hit the other topics here in just a second. If we click manage pricing, now we have this free to join pricing here. So we can click this link and send it to people, and it will send them a link back to this to be able to join, which is a really good feature. We can also create another pricing option. So I can click this button right here and create another pricing option. But before I do that, I'm going to set this up so I can actually show you how to set up a payment. Now, if this is the first time that you're setting this up, you won't get this option. Since I had already linked everything to the other Whop accounts, I'm able to link it also to this one. So I'm just going to leave it as reuse. And then select a previous account to reuse or pre-fill your setup with. And we're going to do Whop Hero. And now we are good to go for this account. So there's a few more steps that you're going to have to do that I'm not going to share my screen and walk through it with you because I don't want you to steal my information. But there it should be set up so we can price this thing out now. Okay, so if we go back to manage pricing here, click this button. It's going to bring this up. Now we can do create pricing option. So we're going to go paid, continue. We can do a subscription or a single payment. So we're going to explore both of those really fast. Subscription. We've got how much you want to charge. Let's say that we're going to start out $10 per month and then unlimited. So if we wanted to lock this community and keep it a finite amount, or if we want to keep the subscription price for the first 20 and then scale up from there, we can do that. So we can go unlimited, but we can also go, there's only 5 at $10 before we scale up. So I'm going to leave that at unlimited right now. And then we can add a free trial. So a 7-day free trial, a 3-day, 30-day, or custom. I would recommend 7 to 30-day when you are starting this thing out, but we don't need a free trial because it's going to be free and this is not going to be the pricing option that we're going to use. Now there is add an initial fee. So if you want a startup fee of, let's say, $9.97, and then every month after that it's $97 per month, pretty steep right there starting out. That's why I don't recommend it. You can do that as well. You can also do split pay. So after the customer makes this number of payments, they will stop being charged but will retain access to their membership. So we could do, let's see, 5 payments. They would have to pay $500 and then they will have access to everything. So that's a way of offsetting that cost and not trying to charge someone $500 right off the bat. That's another option that you do have. You can add a wait list. Now with the wait list, if you do set this up, you cannot have PayPal attached or any other Coinbase type collection payment. So just keep that in mind as you're setting this up. If you want to add a wait list, you can't do that. I recommend starting out, don't start with the wait list. It makes it harder. That's that extra layer of friction that we don't want there. And then ask users questions before purchasing, same thing that we had set up before. It's still popping up that I need to do this, but we'll keep this as is because I had already done it. And then if we want to add an offer before the user cancels, so as someone's canceling and leaving the group, this is where you can add it. And I would recommend at least a 50% for 1 billing period to try to see if they will stay. But that's how you set that up. We'll go ahead and do continue. And then we can do this visible on the store page or only accessible via link. Now, visible on the store page means it's going to pop up there. Only accessible via link means you're sending it out to your clients or to your current community to have them migrate over, and you don't want people to see what they're actually spending to be in the community. So I'm going to keep it visible on the store page, continue, and then now we have another pricing option. Now, the weird thing to understand with this is when you create 2 pricing options like that inside of one Whop, you're going to have a difficult problem here. And the reason is, if I am someone that's viewing this right now, and I come down and I say, yes, I want access, there's free lifetime plus one other option, and I click get access, it's going to give me 2 options. It's going to say, hey, you can have for monthly at $97 or lifetime for free. It's pretty odd. Why would I spend that money, right? So if you're going to use multiple options here, what you want to do is you want to actually create, we'll go back up here. You want to actually create one option that is a subscription based and then one option that is a lifetime access based. So we're going to pull this up again and we'll go paid, and then we'll go single payment, And then this is going to be a lifetime access. So let's say it's $9.97 and never revoke. Nope, no need, good. And then now we can add PayPal, and we can also add cryptocurrency if you want to, and we can click continue, visible on the store, and we're good, okay? So now if I removed the free, which the way that I do that is I have to archive it. Now what I'm able to see here is, if it reloads, it's still archived. So we're gonna pull this back up real quick. Yeah, so that should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and just refresh it. Okay, there we go. So now we have it set up correctly. Now if I click get access, it's either $97 per month or I can do $9.97 for lifetime. Okay, that's how you set that up. Now the question that you have now is, well, how do you set this up where you have Whop Hero, and I'll show you here in just a second, where I have 3 different options. I've got a free, and I've got a 19, and I've got a 9.97. How do you set that up for yourself? I'm going to show you that here in just a second. So if I create real estate agent growth and I want that to pop up, this is exactly how you're going to do it. So we're going to change this into multiple options. Now, before we do that, I'm going to go to edit benefits, and I have 5 benefit options here. So I am going to add 5 benefits for doing this package. Okay. So benefit 1. Now, like I said before, as a copywriter, as a conversion rate optimization field that I've been in, you have a good layout, but you don't have enough time and customization to be able to go through the entire client buying journey, right? To get them persuaded into doing this. So we want to fill this up with 5 different benefits that they are going to receive by joining this community. This is the only place that you really have to sell it besides the VSL right here and a little bit of the copy here is right here. This is exactly what you're going to get. So what I want you to look at here is you're going to fill this out. If you don't know what to put in here, that's fine, because I have another video and another course where we're going to talk about copywriting and how to build out copy to actually convert people into your page. But this is an important one to fill out before we jump on to the next part. Now, we will come back to this in a second after we hit the other pieces right here. So we've already talked about the uploading media. We already talked about the edit details, and you need to describe what they get. Okay. And we're going to save. And then we're going to go down. Nobody has joined. That's okay. Can't do anything there. Adding an app, we will do that right here by going over here to the left side. Now this changed just a little bit, but if we do learn, and I want to add a course, then I'm going to go with course, continue. And I'm going to do course 1. And you can have as many as you want to in here, but I'm just going to keep it course 1, okay? Now I will have the app for this. Now the way that I get back to it is I go back over here to store page, and that's where I can see my landing page again. Okay, so now I have an app, course 1. Now let's say that I want to add a chat tab so that people can chat with me. I'm going to create it and add it there. Okay, great. Now I've got a chat. Now let's say that I want to add a calendar tab. So I'm going to add this, and I can do an event or a live stream. So I'm going to go live stream, and I'm going to do continue. And I do not want to go live right now. See what happens here. Yep, it's got me going live. Okay, so don't make that same mistake. The live feature, they need to fix this so you can add a tab to show that there are live features. But we will come back to that here in a little bit. But you can also add an event. So if you do have an event that's coming up, you can add that here. So now if I go back to the home tab by clicking this, now I can see all of the things that they're going to get within this module here. Okay. Because they're not going to have access to this when they first start. They won't have access. All they're seeing is this page right here. And to actually explain that to you, let me show you exactly what they're going to see. This right here is what they see. Okay? They don't see all of the tabs and everything over here on the side. All they see is this. So you have to convince them and show them what they're going to get within this. So here's the section right here that they're going to get. So that's why it's important of using this strategy and putting all of this information down. So now we're going to move on to the next section. You can go step by step through here to see everything that you can add and build that out as much as you want to. We will talk more about courses and how to set up not only a course, but a good course that people consume knowledge from, learn from, and apply and leave good reviews. So we will come back to that in a little bit here. All right, learn about me. So you do want to edit your creator details. So you want to put in any of your social profiles, a website URL if you have it, and then add a bio about yourself. But don't just make it about yourself and who you are. Make it about what's in it for them and why they should want to work with you and get your advice and feedback as the community founder, as the community leader. Again, if you want the copywriting, everything that you need for copywriting, I will have that linked within the course. All right, who is this for? So we're going to edit personas here. And this is important because we want to qualify and also disqualify people that don't belong. So a good way of looking at this is, who is your target audience and what are their pain points? Okay. What I would like you to do right now is sit down and label out 5 different people that you would like to be in this and describe them in here. Okay. So edit personas. You're going to add a persona. You can have up to 5. So do all 5. And what you want to do is label it. So coaches and consultants, you want to go more in depth with the description, not hungry to attract high ticket clients. You want to actually go in depth and talk about how you solve the pain point for this persona in this section right here. So it's not just a detailed, hey, if you're a coach and a consultant, you're either in the coaching and you do this, this, and this, and you're a consultant, you do this, this, and this. No, coaches and consultants, this is how I'm able to help you. So that's what you want to put in the description. Again, all 5, we want all 5 of them here. And once you have all 5, you will have it set up here. It will look better than this right now. I'm just doing this for video purposes. Okay, so we've got pricing. We've got who this is for. We have about you section. We have what they're going to get. Nobody's joined yet. Very sad day. We have your details about what they're going to get and how they're going to get it. And then we also have the plan of action for this. Again, the VSL. I have another video that's going to be coming out about that. So frequently asked questions, jumping down to here, edit FAQs. Again, all 5, max them out. Don't just make them very generic FAQs. You want to talk about any objections that they may have to joining your community should be answered right here. Hey, is this going to take a lot of time for me to learn? No, actually it's not. We've worked on this course. We've spent this many hours building it out and streamlined it so you can get up and running within an hour or within 30 minutes. Those kind of questions that are going to keep people from joining your course. For paid membership, you need to be building out the free version here. So I'm just going to keep this as blank right now. Okay, so now we have all of the FAQs here. Reviews, if you do have a past community or you do have some clients, reach out to them and see if they'll leave you a review here. That would really help out, especially when you're talking about the client journey and how you're trying to win them over. People seeing other people doing it and experiencing a good experience is very helpful for this process. And then the last one right here is become an affiliate. So if you want to edit your affiliate percentage, anyone that brings in someone into the community with their link is going to get 30% of that reward. So you can set this and customize it any way that you want to. If you have any assets that you want to give over, like your logo or some custom material, anything you can put in here that other people can use to try to sell this course on your behalf. And that is a good way of using a crowd and a referral basis to actually grow your community. So now the last thing that we want to look at over here on the right side, again, we have this checklist here. We've got add a logo image. So the way that we do that is by clicking edit details and upload a logo. Now this can be an SVG file or a PNG or JPEG. I would recommend SVG because that's going to hold it better. Now something to keep in mind when you do upload this, I just threw in a random logo here. I'm going to polish this up a little bit. You got to think about how this is going to look when it's actually in the bottom screen here. So if I save this and I come down and look at it, see how it looks right there. You want something that gives it a little bit more depth and pops, kind of like Whop Hero does, or the crazy contrast difference between the black and white and the orange and white. It sticks out. You want it to stick out to them. So this one right here doesn't stick out very well in my opinion. So adding something in the background. The other thing is you have to see that the radius on the actual button itself is curved at like 40, 30 to 40, somewhere in there. So what you want to do is you want to take that into account, because if you blow this thing all the way big, what's going to happen the first time that I did it is hero was like cut halfway off. So you just want to keep that in mind. Now upload media, I'm just going to put a random picture in here real quick. Great. So this is the thumbnail that I'm using for my first video coming up here, talking about landing pages and how this 15-minute hack of setting this up is going to do extremely well. Here I am selling you on it right now. But This right here is just a good professional looking image. The thing with this image here that I have to point out to you, if I go back into edit, you want to make this a 16:9 aspect ratio, but you want to max out the pixels on this thing. You want this to be a crystal clear photo. So if you just send this in, around 1,000 to 2,000 pixels, it is going to look pixelated, kind of like this one does right here. So keep that in mind. Everything should be professional. So now at this point, you've got every section built out and you're ready to actually start, one, shooting the VSL, and two, building out copy that's actually going to get people to start and join the community. So that's going to be the next two videos that come out. So if you are watching this from YouTube, go ahead and subscribe so that you can be notified when this comes out. If you're within the course, it should be the next tab, so you can jump onto there. Now, the thing that I want to point out to you is the next step with this is how to navigate everything. So the leaderboard right here, if you click into this, this is going to show your most active users, which is just me so far today. And actually, if I click that button, yeah, great. So you can pay. That's something I just discovered here. I'm discovering new things every single day, but you can pay people based on how active they are on the leaderboard. So we could pay myself right now $5 for being the most active in the leaderboard. Okay, that's a very interesting thing right there. The other thing that you can do is you can invite people through here. So if you click into this, you can copy the direct link, copy the link to the store page, or send it to anyone that you have already connected with. Right here brings you back to the store page. So if you get into, let's say, the course and you want to go back, click the store page. And then this is where you go to dashboard, and this is where you can manage it. So you can manage your pricing, view dashboard, same buttons that are right here. So click this button to go to dashboard. Now, these are your Whops right here. Okay, I have one Whop right now. These are your checkout links. This right here, if you have multiple organizations, is when you can change. So if I want to go to Whop Hero, I can do that. If I want to go to Real Estate Agent Growth, I can do that as well. Okay, so the thing that I want to point out is you do have your users. So how many users, who's on the wait list, cancellation reasons, payouts or payments, payouts, disputes, resolution center. And then you do have tracking links, so you can actually build in a tracking link here to see where people are actually coming from. You do have leads right here, which will pop up in terms of, hey, they didn't join the community right away, but this is who got the pop-up promotion. Here's promotion codes that you can build out for it. This is where you can manage your affiliates, your messages, and then here's general, team, and then API keys and webhooks down at the bottom if you want to automate stuff. So let's go to messages really fast. This is extremely important. Please watch this because this will increase your conversion rate as well. When a new user joins, you want to enable this automation. Now, if you join my community, you got to see the automated message that goes out to you. Now, if you do put recipient name right here, the problem is it doesn't sound like a message that you wrote. It's obvious that it's automated. So it says, hey, Chantz Yeager, instead of just, hey, Chantz, which is usually how I'd respond to someone. Or if they don't go by that name in here, it just feels weird. So I typically drop that and just say, hey, stoked to have you as part of Whop. And then I give them a question. I don't fill this out. I ask a question. Because what I want to do is try to get a response from them and to start engaging with them on the platform and within the community. So that's what you want to do right there. I also recommend that you need to have a video attached. Now, if you click this button right here, it says you can only edit images or videos using the mobile app. So you do need to download the mobile app, go to the same Whop right here, go to your settings, and then go to messages, and you can record a video. I recommend just taking your phone, recording a video like you're personalizing a video to them, and just say, hey, thank you so much for joining the community. Glad to see you on here. Give some kind of promotion or some kind of thing for them to engage with, and then say, hey, we'll see you in some of the course videos and on the live stream. And just end it. Make it super nice and little video there. That's going to go a long way. And then you can click save, and that's going to save that message to them. Now, the same thing, you can build this for enabling an automation when someone tries to leave the community to try to bring them back in. And then the same thing when someone enters the community, doesn't become a community member, and then leaves. So keep that in mind right there. For those things, that is a massive conversion rate optimizer right there. One other thing that I have to show you, which is the most important part of this entire video. So if you stayed around long enough right here, I'm going to show you how to add more Whops and combine them together. Okay, so from here I have Real Estate Agent Growth. I'm going to add a new Whop under this organization. Okay, so I have Whop Hero and Real Estate Agent Growth. I'm going to click on this button for this organization and continue. Now I'm going to type in Real Estate Agent Scale because, hey, here's the growth and here's the scale. And then this is for, okay. And we will get into the pricing strategy and everything like that in a later one. So now I just create a new Whop and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to start from scratch. Well, yes, you do. But the thing is to think about here is this allows us to do the pricing. So if I manage pricing, I'm just going to input this the same way that we did the last time. And let's say that this one is a paid community and it's a subscription. And let's say that this one is actually $1.99 per month. And we have a free trial of 7 days because it's going to be so good. They're going to love it and they will not quit. And then we're going to go continue. Okay, now I have another pricing option here. So now I've got $1.99. Now I'm going to edit the benefits. I can fill out all the benefits here and they just get one benefit on this one. Okay, so now I have pricing. So now what I do is if I come back to real estate growth, what I can do is I can show this and now I can edit which Whops appear here. So if I do edit Whops, I can do feature a new Whop and I can also do real estate agent scale. And so now I have pricing tiers here. So this is my $97 a month. This is my $199 a month. This is my one-time setup, whatever. This is my digital product, whatever it is. This is how you do it right there. So if you go and look at mine, I have a Whop Hero, which is free lifetime, Whop Hero Growth, and Whop Hero Scale. Now we will get into the psychology of how to actually build out the pricing strategy so that you get people into the free and then upsell them onto the growth and then upsell them on the Whop Hero Scale. So, okay, so in this video, we covered everything that you need to do to set it up. Now, it is not optimized by any means. So what we're going to do in the next video is we're going to cover how to optimize. First, by doing a landing page. So if you haven't seen that video yet, go watch it. Then we're going to talk about how to actually optimize the copy and other techniques to make this a professional community that people are going to join. So thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next video.
Okay, let's go.